Please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the host and should only be taken as food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners and no information is shared to anyone else. If you are easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you, so see you later. And please enjoy the rest of the show. Happy Monday. I just started a new job, guys, and it's a fucking doddle. I'm working from home 2 days a week and in the office for 3. The days I'm working from home, I get my stuff done by 10 or 11, and I got the rest of the day to myself, cunt. Only drawback to the job is the money isn't great. I'm going to have to find another income to play alongside if I want to carry on with this job. I've started doing some Uber driving at the weekend evenings and it's going well, but I must say I have to agree with your previous listener. The offers of sex from random drunk dudes is a huge problem. I had one dude who dropped his girlfriend off and got back in the car and I took him home and he was offering me a blowjob the entire 20-minute journey until he got out. I also had 2 guys who were talking about striking out with girls in the club, and then once one of the dudes got out of the car, the other grabbed my crotch and said, when we get to his house, I can fuck him, and he asked me to be his dirty little secret.
Oh my goodness.
Is this a sign to give up my side hustle? I'm worried that I'm giving off the wrong kind of vibes. What do you think? We've said before, men are dogs. I don't really think it matters what vibe you're giving off.
No. Definitely don't matter what vibe you're giving off.
No.
Like, Uber drivers are going through a lot, aren't they?
They are, yeah. That's why I fully support getting cameras in your car to record the passengers. Because
definitely,
like, it's fucking mental out there. Quitting because of it? No, you might get a really attractive looking bloke. You never know. You might feel like it that night.
It might be worth changing your times that you do it. Like when he's having that, maybe he can't be seen outside the house, but when he's got that time from like 11 free time on the days that he's working at home, maybe go out and do Uber in that time.
Yeah, because you do Uber whenever you feel like it, right? Like you just clock in and or you just turn on the app or whatever.
Yeah, and you go home whenever. That's why this time of year has been awful, because a lot of the Uber drivers are Muslim, like in and around Hemel or Luton, and Ramadan. Obviously, they're all fasting. So at 7 p.m, when most people go out for dinner, they're breaking their fast. So there's no fucking Uber drivers in the area other than, like, I had a Mexican guy. Colombian he was. I had a Colombian fella in the middle of Hemel Hempstead. Could you imagine that? That doesn't happen normally, and that's because everyone else is gone. Normally, you can get one straight away. It took me 20 minutes to get an Uber the other day.
Fucking hell, that's mental.
So it's literally click on and off. I think stick with it, but just keep turning down these men.
You never know. You might get lonely one night. Be like the weed dealer.
Oh, what was sucking off the weed dealer?
He sucked him. The weed dealer sucked him off, didn't he?
Oh yeah,
a transaction.
The weed dealer sucked him off.
That's mad.
If you can get a fare and a blowjob, that's fucking win-win.
I don't know, man.
A fare, a blowjob, and not an STD. Fingers crossed.
As long as you don't get the clap.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be more concerned about the mess. I'd be like, you better be collecting all of the finishings. You know what I mean? I ain't cleaning that up.
I think we lost Joey. Have we lost Joey?
Yeah, I think so. His audio's not working.
Am I gone?
Oh, there you are.
No, he's just sickened by the conversation. That's what it is.
You're just being quiet.
I'm just taking it all in.
Joe's
you can have a little sign up.
Joe's sitting there as a listener, listening to us, instead of actually chiming in.
No, I was trying to think. I was going to be an Uber driver. We got made redundant.
That's a good. Yeah.
Get a little plaque made to up in the window. Do not accept sexual favours from men, maybe from women.
No,
depending
I get a camera
on
inside the car that because when I took the last Uber we took was over to your mum's house, and then we
Yeah.
went to Hitchin, no Stevenage, and the Uber driver had a camera in the front, and you could see us lot in the car,
Yeah.
and he had a camera facing out, a dash cam facing out, but he had one in as well, recording us all in the car. So,
I think that's a good way to keep yourself safe because, like, if it happens when like people get drunk and they black out, and if they accuse you of like stealing something or doing something to them,
touching them on that, yeah.
yeah, then at least you've got evidence you ain't done nothing. Because there's been times I'm bad for it. I get in a taxi and I black out. I wake up next day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because like your body's already gone into sleep mode. That taxi driver could have took me anywhere, and all I would know is from a sore bummer in the morning.
The fresh air as well. Once you hit the fresh air, it knocks you out.
Yeah, it does. It does knock you out.
It does me
So-
anyway.
I think like along the line, it's obviously an extreme example. Obviously, you get bus drivers and black cabs that have those proper dividers.
I was
There's
gonna say
always
that,
those,
yeah. During
proper
COVID,
divider.
They did their own versions, didn't they? They had like
hmm
a bit
Yeah.
of fucking plastic up.
Yeah, exactly. And no one sits in the front seat. And unfortunately, yeah, it takes away a passenger. But then again, you could also be a good judge and sort of say, you're not coming in the front because you're clearly blarted.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can go in the back and let your mate sit in the front or whatever. But then I was thinking as well, this listener, they've talked about their job situation. It's a bit of a doddle, but I feel like if you're having to do Uber on the side, have you thought about maybe looking at your job situation and thinking a lot of places now offer work from home or flexi work? If the money isn't as good, there are options out there to, flexi work at new places. It's more of an extreme change than buying a camera for your Uber, but 2 days working
I
from
agree.
home.
I think if your main job is not paying enough and you're not able to
Mhm.
pay the bills with it, and you're already doing 5 days, even though 2 days at home, you're still working.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Doing Uber at the weekends on your evening. I don't know about you, but I enjoy my weekends, so
Yep.
I don't want to have to be giving up any free time that I wouldn't have to if I was just doing a bog standard
Mhm.
5 day week.
I would ask for more stuff to work. Like, if it's so easy, then maybe you can ask for something a bit more complicated for more money.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
possibly could step up in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Loads of places offer flexi work nowadays. Obviously, your Goldman Sachs and Elon Musk's of the world, they're like 5 days a week here, and that model doesn't work for anybody anymore post-COVID. But yeah, you can definitely improve your situation with your salary on your current job.
You can
So
do
you're not
flexi
having.
work, can't you, Connor? Because you're an engineer.
Yeah, so I do a 5 day week and I work from home 1 day a week. It's usually a Monday. And it's going to sound a bit weird. It's nice to be able to distance yourself from the actual workplace where you've got other engineers coming up to you and asking for favors, signing off permits. Those it's going to sound really bad. Work interruptions. You've been given a task by whatever program I'm
You
working
can get
for.
on with a project.
Exactly. So, you're sitting there and you just crack on with that program without anybody asking it. My phone's next to me, my email's here. If you need me to do something, I can do it, but other than that, I'm focusing on the task I've been given. And when I'm in for the other 4 days, I'm just there, you know, doing my thing.
Hmm.
But yeah, there's loads of options out there, and if you're getting fed up with being groped by drunk passengers and stuff like that, and the camera isn't doing it for you, you might need to reevaluate your job situation.
I take it as a compliment.
Obviously, during retail, we didn't deal with shit like that, but we dealt with dickheads, and like unfortunately, the general public is full of dickheads, and
Yeah.
if you don't want to deal with the general public, you don't do a customer-facing job. Because I remember on Sundays we used to close at 4 o'clock because it was a certain size store. After 4 o'clock, they're closed. That's it. That was the fucking rules in the UK. Yeah. and there was always some cunt that's trying to walk in the shop at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And even though it's been that rule for 20 years, there's still some fella that thinks he could just barge through the door. And I think you're always going to have an arsehole in no matter what you do. So it's going to be, if you want to stay away from the general public, don't do a customer-facing job, I think. I think get away from Uber if you can, start doing something else. But if you are happy with your situation work-wise, just pick a shift where you're not dealing with so many drunk people, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd enjoy it. I'm sorry.
You would enjoy it, Dan. I know you'd be getting blowjobs left, right, and centre.
Only if they're going to pay the fare as well. I ain't taking no fucking free fares. I've still got to pay my fuel here. You know what I mean? I've got a limit. I may be a hussy, but I ain't a cheap one. Well, maybe I am a cheap one as well. Anyway, yeah, good luck. Thanks for the stories. They made me laugh.